We are sponsored by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Networks. So score this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 if your team wins. FanDuel. All right, Bob, let's get to it now. At the time we're recording this is the day after the Celtics win over the Knicks. And Jason Tatum just poured it on in the fourth quarter. Now, I saw your tweet where you talked about it was a bird-like performance. Now, I am never going to say, well, I never say never, but I don't think I will ever say in my lifetime, is this player as good as Larry Bird? But the question did come to mind to me, is Tatum going to be better than Paul Pierce?
He had, first of all, he's got 4 inches on him, or 3 anyway. And he's got a range of skill at 6'10", whatever he is, 6'10" at least, that we've never had in a Celtic uniform.
Can't even contest it. Gets it back. Takes it.
Larry was a different kind of player. He didn't have the obvious grace and dexterity going to the basket, for example, that Pierce had, that Tatum has. Larry's greatest passing forward of all time. Larry had many, many other attributes. He's a different kind of player. They'd be very good together. So he has a chance. He
has a chance to be better than Pierce.
Yeah, he's going to enter into, we have the ancient discussion about the Mount Rushmore, and that's, inviolate right now for me on the Celtics, who the Mount Rushmore are in chronological order: Cousy, Russell, Havlicek, and Bird. But who's the fifth guy? That's a fun argument. We've had that many times. And he's going to inject himself. He already has injected himself into the discussion that when his career's over, he will be in line to be the fifth guy. And
I love
right
Paul
now,
Pierce.
Pierce is the fifth guy right now.
I loved covering Pierce. I thought the way he rebounded, after that season before KG and Ray got here, he thought he was going to be traded. The things that Paul went through, the stabbing and so forth, and he really stepped up big to become a captain.
Yep.
Won the championship. I mean, it was just a tremendous performance against the Lakers. But I do think Tatum is going to be better. I mean, you just said he's taller, he's lankier, he's more athletic. I just think he's going to be probably going to be a little more athletic and have more tricks in the bag. And
it's still a chance. He still can broaden, and
Pierce was thick. You know what I mean? Tatum's wiry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Pierce. One thing. Pierce was a throwback player. He could get to the line. He had tricks. I once wrote about how he had bamboozled his way to a 30-point game. That's not the kind of player that Tatum is. It's not the kind of player that Larry was. That was Pierce's own style. One of my great dictums in life, and in terms of sports, is that the great ones, the truly great ones, they leave you with a distinctive impression, a style of their own that is not, directly is the same as anyone else's. And Pierce had his own style, and Jason Tatum has his. He still, there are times he got away with it last night. He got away with forcing threes that, wow, you say, no. Oh, good shot. Right. I mean, the 4-point play, for example, was ridiculous. It was so good. It was so, but no, it's a good discussion. And then the other thought is the defense. He can apply when he applies himself. Pierce worked at it. He was never great, at it. Let's face it. It was never, but he took it seriously, and as time went on, and certainly we all know in 07, 08, they took every game seriously. And he took it very seriously. So Tatum is. The thing with him is he's the best player, clearly, and assuming that responsibility and knowing what it takes to assert yourself at the right time, as he did in this game against the Knicks. And but it also includes making plays for people too. It doesn't always just have to be scoring 17 points. That was the great thing about Larry. Here's one thing about Larry that very few people could ever say in the history of this game, including Michael Jordan. Larry Bird did something that Michael Jordan could never do and never even came close to doing in a game. I saw it happen more than once. One time it was glaring beyond belief.
Triple-double without points.
Dominate an entire game without taking a shot.
Right.
He did this one night in Phoenix. I would love to go find that clip and show you what he did in the third quarter of that game one night in Phoenix when he totally dominated the game, like 7 assists, and they came from way back, and he led the charge without taking a shot. That's not part. That was never part of Michael Jordan's game. He couldn't do that. Magic could do that. That was his. But Michael couldn't do that, but Larry Bird could do that. Tatum's never going to do that. That's not going to happen. So he has his own style.
But haven't you seen? I first of all, I'm not disagreeing with you, but haven't you seen Tatum become a more complete player this year and a better distributor of the basketball?
Yes, better, right. And just don't hold him to the standard that he's going to be Larry. He's going to be himself, and that's going to be a part of his repertoire, and it should be. Because he's going to call attention to himself. He's going to draw double teams. He has to know when it's wise to make them pay for that double team. And not just even with double teams, passing off the drive, which is a skill that you don't see that the way as often as you should. He could improve. He could, improve in that regard. So no, what is 26? He's still learning.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's a kid.
That's the thing. We cannot take for granted the fact that he is not a finished product, that he is improving. And great ones do go back and should be getting better. Larry did it, and Michael did it, and Dr. J really did it, by the way, because he wasn't much of a shooter when he came into the NBA, and he made himself into a very decent shooter. And Magic coming out of college was not a shooter. And by the end, Magic was a dangerous 3-point shooter. So anyway, Tatum's he is improving, and that's a good sign.